From the first flicker of civilization to the interconnected world we see today, history unveils a captivating saga of humanity's journey. It's really a complex tapestry, woven from the threads of countless lives, events, and ideas. Over thousands of years, civilizations have risen and fallen, leaving behind legacies that continue to shape our world. So, join me now as we embark on a journey through time, exploring the pivotal events and remarkable individuals that have left an indelible mark on our collective human story. Our journey begins in the cradle of civilization, the Fertile Crescent, where the seeds of human ingenuity first took root. This region, stretching from the eastern Mediterranean to the Persian Gulf, was blessed with rich soils and abundant water, making it the perfect place for early humans to settle and thrive. Here people learned to harness the power of nature, transforming wild landscapes into the first organized communities. Along the banks of the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, the Mesopotamian people crafted the earliest known cities, their mud brick structures reaching towards the heavens. These cities, such as Uruk and Ur, became centers of trade, religion, and governance, where people gathered to share ideas and build a new way of life. The ziggurats, towering temples, stood as symbols of their devotion and ambition. In ancient Egypt, the Nile River breathed life into the desert, sustaining a civilization that would marvel the world for thousands of years. The predictable flooding of the Nile allowed Egyptians to develop advanced agriculture, supporting a society that built monumental pyramids and developed a rich culture of art, science, and spirituality. Theirs was a time of innovation, the invention of writing, the wheel, and the development of agriculture, revolutionary achievements that changed the course of human history. Writing allowed people to record their thoughts, laws, and stories, while the wheel transformed transportation and trade. These innovations laid the foundation for human progress, enabling societies to grow, communicate, and organize in ways never before possible. The mastery of farming meant that people could settle in one place, leading to the rise of villages, towns, and eventually great cities. Further east along the Indus River, another great civilization flourished. The Indus Valley people built cities that were marvels of planning and engineering, with straight streets, sturdy brick houses, and complex drainage systems. The people of the Indus Valley, known for their advanced urban planning and sanitation systems, left behind a legacy of sophisticated city life. Their mysterious script and carefully organized cities hint at a society both complex and forward-thinking. These early civilizations, each with their unique contributions, set the stage for the unfolding drama of human history. Their achievements in writing, architecture, governance, and technology continue to inspire us, reminding us of humanity's endless capacity for creativity and progress. As we venture further into our journey through history, we arrive at the sunlit shores of the Aegean Sea, a region that became the cradle of Western civilization and the birthplace of some of humanity's most influential ideas. Here, the city-states of ancient Greece flourished, surrounded by the sparkling blue waters and rugged landscapes that inspired generations of thinkers, artists, and leaders. In this vibrant world, democracy took its first tentative steps in Athens, where citizens gathered in the agora to debate and decide their future. Philosophers like Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle questioned the nature of existence, ethics, and knowledge, laying the foundations of Western thought and shaping the way we understand the world even today. The arts, sciences, and architecture also flourished, leaving behind a legacy that continues to inspire. Across the Mediterranean, the Roman Republic emerged, rising from a small city-state to dominate vast territories. With their disciplined legions, innovative engineers, and ambitious leaders, the Romans forged an empire that stretched from the windswept coasts of Britain to the deserts of North Africa and the Middle East. Roman law, engineering, and language would leave an enduring legacy on Europe and beyond. Their roads connected distant provinces, their aqueducts brought water to bustling cities, and their legal principles still echo in modern systems of justice. Latin, the language of Rome, became the root of many European languages. Meanwhile, far to the east, the Han Dynasty ushered in a golden age for China. Under the Han emperors, China expanded its borders, developed a sophisticated bureaucracy, and made remarkable advances in science, technology, and the arts. The Silk Road, a vast network of trade routes stretching thousands of miles across Asia, connected east and west as never before. Along these routes, merchants, travelers, and scholars exchanged not only silk and spices but also ideas, inventions, and beliefs, fostering cultural exchange and spreading knowledge across continents. Yet, even the mightiest empires are not immune to the passage of time. Political turmoil, economic challenges, and invasions from outside forces led to the gradual decline of once great civilizations. The Roman Empire, beset by internal strife and external pressures, slowly faded into history, leaving behind ruins and legends. In contrast, a resurgent China continued its ascent, preserving its culture and achievements, and setting the stage for future dynasties to build upon its enduring legacy. The fall of the Roman Empire marked a profound transition in Europe, plunging the continent into a period of uncertainty and transformation. Once great cities crumbled, trade routes faltered, and the centralized authority that Rome had provided vanished, leaving behind a patchwork of kingdoms and territories vying for power. Yet in the east, the Byzantine Empire rose as the torchbearer of Roman civilization. From its magnificent capital in Constantinople, the Byzantines preserved ancient knowledge, art, and law, ensuring that the wisdom of Greece and Rome would not be lost to the ages. Their scholars, artists, and architects continued to innovate, blending classical traditions with new influences. Meanwhile, a new force emerged on the world stage: Islam. Born in the deserts of the Arabian Peninsula, Islam quickly spread across vast regions, uniting diverse peoples under a shared faith and vision. The Islamic world became a beacon of learning and culture. Cities like Baghdad, Cordoba, and Cairo flourished as centers of science, philosophy, and the arts. Scholars translated and expanded upon the works of the ancients, making groundbreaking advances in mathematics, medicine, and astronomy. In Western Europe, society reorganized itself under the system of feudalism. This rigid social structure bound peasants to the land and to their lords, while kings and nobles competed for dominance. Life was often harsh, but communities found stability in local customs and traditions. The Catholic Church emerged as the most powerful institution of the era, shaping not only spiritual beliefs, but also political and cultural life. Monasteries became centers of learning, preserving manuscripts and educating future generations. Amidst this backdrop of conflict and change, the Crusades erupted, a series of religious wars that brought knights and armies from Europe into direct contact with the Islamic world. These encounters, though often marked by violence, also led to the exchange of ideas, goods, and technologies between East and West. Through these turbulent centuries, the seeds of transformation were sown. The knowledge and cultural influences exchanged during the Middle Ages would eventually spark a new era of creativity and discovery, the Renaissance, a time when Europe would once again look to the past to build its future. So a new spirit of inquiry swept through Europe, marking the dawn of the Renaissance. In Italy, artists like Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo breathed life into canvases and sculpted marble into masterpieces. The printing press, a revolutionary invention, democratized knowledge and fueled the spread of new ideas. Driven by a thirst for knowledge and, riches, European explorers set sail across uncharted seas. Columbus, seeking a westward passage to the Indies, stumbled upon the Americas, forever altering the course of history. Vasco da Gama, rounding the Cape of Good Hope, opened up a sea route to India, transforming global trade. The world was shrinking, and the exchange of goods, ideas, and cultures intensified. The Enlightenment, an intellectual and philosophical movement, challenged the old order, emphasizing reason, individual liberty, and the separation of powers. Thinkers like John Locke, Jean-Jacques Rousseau, and Voltaire championed these ideals, their words igniting revolutionary fervor across the globe. In America, colonists, inspired by Enlightenment principles, rose up against British rule, declaring their independence and establishing a new nation founded on liberty and self-governance. Across the Atlantic, the French Revolution, a tumultuous upheaval, toppled the monarchy, spreading the ideals of liberty, equality, and fraternity throughout Europe and beyond. The world was changing, and the age of absolute monarchy was giving way to new forms of government based on the consent of the governed. A technological revolution, unparalleled in human history, transformed the world. Beginning in Britain, the Industrial Revolution witnessed a wave of inventions that, honestly, reshaped industry and society in ways no one could have imagined. The steam engine, a marvel of engineering, powered factories and locomotives, accelerating production and transportation. Cities swelled as people migrated from rural areas in search of work. The Industrial Revolution brought about unprecedented material progress, but it also created new challenges. Social inequality widened, and the conditions of factory workers sparked calls for reform. The world was becoming increasingly interconnected, and the pace of change was accelerating at an unprecedented rate. The 20th century dawned with a promise of progress, but it soon descended into the abyss of two world wars. Fueled by nationalism, imperialism, and a complex web of alliances, World War I engulfed Europe in a maelstrom of unprecedented violence. New technologies of warfare, from machine guns to poison gas, resulted in horrific casualties. The Treaty of Versailles, intended to ensure peace, sowed the seeds for future conflict. 2 decades later, the world plunged once again into war. World War II, even more devastating than its predecessor, witnessed the horrors of the Holocaust and the use of atomic bombs. From the ashes of war, a new world order emerged, with the United States and the Soviet Union as superpowers. The Cold War, a period of geopolitical tension and rivalry, divided the world into two armed camps. The latter half of the 20th century witnessed the dismantling of colonial empires and the rise of newly independent nations. Globalization, fueled by advances in communication and transportation, interconnected the world like never before. The fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989 symbolized the end of the Cold War and the triumph of democracy over communism. China, undergoing an economic transformation, emerged as a global power. The digital revolution, ushered in by the internet and personal computers, transformed the way we live, work, and interact with the world. As we navigate the complexities of the 21st century, the lessons of history serve as a guide, reminding us of the interconnectedness of our world and the importance of cooperation, understanding, and empathy. We've journeyed together from the dawn of civilization to the digital age, witnessing humanity's triumphs and tragedies, its innovations, and its enduring spirit. History is not merely a collection of names and dates, it is a living narrative that shapes our present and guides our future. I encourage you to delve deeper into the events and individuals that sparked your curiosity during our journey. Explore the past, for in understanding where we've been, we gain a greater understanding of who we are and what we can become.